Hi. So there's my first viewer for tonight. As usual, it still says I have 0 views. So I used to have the countdown script, but when I formatted this computer, I actually lost it. I forgot to make a backup anywhere else. So I'll either have to rewrite it, or I'm thinking maybe I'll just start the streams with the block mining simulator, and then I'll switch to I'll do a wrap up of the week once there's once the stream gets going. Still no changes to the block mining simulator this week, so it still has the same lag issues. But my time is freeing up a little bit more. I've got quite a bit of work done this week. What's that? I assume you mean my block mining simulation game. It's just like a terminal-based game it's just a very simple idea that I had that I'm gonna keep working on. I did one Kickstarter quite a few months ago now to get it started, just as a proof of concept. Robert Elder Software is my favorite Linux command. That's a pretty good command. I have a diff tool that I named Robert Elder Software Diff. World War III, let's go. Oh yeah, I saw there was I didn't quite dig into the news. I saw there's a bunch of statements about I don't know, somewhere in the Middle East there was a bunch of stuff going on. I haven't dug into that yet. Will that work on Termux? So this this works in GNOME Terminal. It works in Tmux and Screen, but it has there's issues with wide character mode, and I think there's there's unresolvable issues with wide character mode, because I think there's bugs in Tmux and Screen because they don't support they don't accurately implement the widths, the cursor adjustments. So if you actually empirically measure the updated cursor positions, it's actually wrong. Bro really ignored me. That's another one of your comments that are I don't know what to do with that comment. It's not related. Keep up the excellent content. I've learned a ton from your channel. Did you really make this in Java? Yep, it's 100% Java. I'm thinking for some of the more like advanced terminal API stuff, you can't necessarily do it natively in Java. You'd have to use I think JNI, which I haven't used before. So if you want to do some things that are direct, like C API stuff, it doesn't. Java's not really good for that. There are, for the most part, compared to other languages, I find with Java, there's a lot less like really strange, like weird edge case, weird edge cases that don't work for highly scalable stuff, but and anything to do with like concurrency and all that stuff, it always seems to work a lot. It's better designed, it's better thought out in Java, I find. But there are a couple weirdities. One issue was with what was it? I think it was with blocking reads on the console is kind of an issue with Java. How can you make the printing formatting in Java? I struggle a lot with the even printing color text in the terminal. On Windows requires a library. So you can do it with ANSI escape codes, but technically, so you can just like print out the codes, but you're supposed to use a library because some of the colors are not supported on all terminals. But I think in general, on like any kind of modern terminal, you're using like a pretty standard thing like GNOME terminal, or you don't need like perfect. I don't really anticipate, like this is just I just made this to work on my machine. I haven't really looked into general portability, but for now, if you just kind of assume that everyone has the support for the basic ANSI escape codes, it'll it works pretty good in this and in tmux and in Screen and a few other terminals. I mean, I haven't tested it widely, and I'm sure I'll find some incompatibilities and generalize it from there. Well, I really want to understand, what do people think about this? We are all going to die soon. I don't know what you mean by that. Do you use a certain library or something? No, there's there's no libraries in this other than like the SQLite library. Apparently my mom's vehicle is missing a turn signal relay from factory. Huh. How old are you, SAQ? Because on the internet, it's hard to tell how old people are. Sometimes people are, if you're, if there's, kids saying random stuff, it's understandable. All right, stream is basically started, so I'll do my update. So first update is the Coreutils wrap-up video has been released. So that is, and I also have a blog post to go along with it. So that is in this post here. So actually, I had an issue with the link. I published this article, a couple of days, I guess almost a week ago now, but I didn't realize I had the links. The links were all broken for a while, but I fixed that just before the stream. So for every one of these, you can click on it. Page 32. Yeah, so there's a video and an article. Someone asked, in the past, for a list about a list of all the commands that I covered, and here it is. That's exactly that. And of course the accompanying video that some of you may have seen, and a little bit of meta stuff. And I plugged some of the other videos. These are some of my I guess a couple of these are when I did the 30 days of videos, and I think they're pretty relevant. Yeah, so that that's something that's been in the pipeline for a while. I finished the next shorts video. So that is going to be the exit command. So I said I'm going to drop down to one of the shorts videos per month, but I'm trying to do them in a higher quality. So I think, doubling the amount of time I put in releasing less of them at higher quality, I think is going to be going to still work out better in the long term. I finished accounting. That's been a thing that I've been grinding away at for a while now. So it's not like finished, but I finished the kind of drafted the numbers and sent that off to the accountant, and is almost every single time I've ever reached out to an accountant, I get an auto reply that says they're out of the office and they'll return shortly. So that's getting processed. And I think Monday or something, they said they'll be back in the office to get that going. And more people in my building got renoviction notices. So this is the 4th round of renoviction notices. I had 0 sales in the store this week, but I guess I'll just keep mentioning it. The sale was I sold one of the C programming fridge magnets. That's from a Kickstarter I did a few years ago, and I made I think I've got like 12 of them left. So, and there were actually quite a bit of work to make these, to cut them up. So it was a fairly small batch size, so get them while they're still available. But one of my, I didn't make any sales, but one of the sales arrived in the shipping successfully this week. And as I mentioned, I finished up a whole bunch of partially complete work, and now I am thinking, and now I finally have more time available. And also my main client, he owes me a bunch of money, but he said he wants to take a pause for a bit, probably because the economy's collapsing and nobody has money and stuff. So my time is opening up quite a bit. So hopefully, as long as I don't have more renovation drama, then I may be able to make some more videos. And I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I gotta catch up on some stuff, cleaning and whatnot. But this week I'm definitely thinking I'm gonna get back to. There was a couple like simple bugs I wanted to fix in the block mining simulator as part of the last Kickstarter that I did for that, and that kept getting pushed off. So I'm gonna try to finish that, get another release version of block mining simulator deployed, and then I'm gonna start thinking about doing a new Kickstarter for that to add some more onto it. Okay, let's catch up with the chat. Why exactly do you know how old I am? Want to know that information? Which could help me in my projects. If you don't want to help me, I'm satisfied with that answer. All right. How do you update the terminal each frame? I use to clear the whole terminal and print everything again. What I've been doing was, so I actually kind of have like a buffer. So in my code, when I print it off, I print it to like I guess it's like frame buffering almost, and then I check if there's a difference, and only if there's a difference does it print it to the screen. And I actually had some to make it efficient enough. It's difficult to get the terminal to be responsive enough. As simple as a primitive as it is, I would expect it to be much more efficient, but so I had to actually implement something. So when it scrolls, it does like a shift of everything by 1, but then it tries to be intelligent and not reprint certain areas on the screen, and then it fills in it initializes a new area and then shifts everything over. Heard someone say something has to go wrong in your life for you to install Linux on a system. In my case, it's correct. I don't know if that's true. Maybe for some people, but it's for me, I've been I got into first started using Linux before university, and it was because it was clear that was a something I'd have to learn for computer science and software engineering and all that. Yay, run evictions. Should make the block mining simulator mine blocks directly next to the player entities first, rather than far corners. Yeah, I guess I could probably. It's most of the implementation details now are just like the easiest possible thing that I could put into to get it to actually to kind of get like a basic thing that I could call a game. Because the way I look at it right now, it's so it's like so primitive and basic. It's like it's almost not even a game. So Robert, what is your answer? I'm curious too. I don't even know what you're asking. Does it resize itself if the terminal when it was resized? It currently does not do that, but there's an event that I have to listen to, and actually I have in my video terminal-based game development. I talk about that where you can detect the terminal window resize, and then from that you can just trigger the reprint and recalculation event. So that's it for the update. And as usual, I don't have a lot of other content. I was just gonna space out and chill, play my block mining game, answer some questions. So my question is, what do you think about that you're going to die soon? What do you think about? I don't understand the question. Is it dependent on Linux, or does it run on Windows as well? I would say at this point, it's almost certainly not going to run on Windows. Maybe on like one of the subsystem for Linux or something. It might, but I think over time I might make it more test it out to make sure it works in more platforms and stuff. Because every new platform or terminal you go to, there's some new weird bug you can get. Even going from Ubuntu 20 to 24, and actually even 20 to 22, I found a whole bunch of like the way I was calculating terminal width didn't work anymore, and it made it really really small. I mean, like living your life than death. I don't know what that means. Everyone has their own interpretations, and it comes from all of us. But can you tell me what you deeply think about it? I would say I don't really think about it. I just assume you go to sleep and lights turn off, and that's basically it. Game is pretty cool. Thank you. It's like it's so simple that it's almost like not even a game. I guess when I pitched it in the Kickstarter, I pitched it pretty as like a pretty simple thing. I think I only raised like $200 or something, but I did get, I think maybe like, I don't know, maybe I had some people pledge $25 to sponsor a block in the game. So there's a few people that have a block type dedicated to them. So those are my loyal core sponsors for the game, and I kind of just rushed through it to get to the point where it's like it's the minimal thing where instead of just being like a pile of code, you could kind of call it a game, and I'm kind of happy about how like for being so simple, it's surprisingly playable as a thing to just walk around and spam the M key. Thanks for your information. Really helped me. All right, I'm glad I was able to be of assistance. SAQ is secretly a robot, can't comprehend concepts like life and death. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't. I'm not going to dictate that everything be completely on topic in the chat, but I told him before that I'm this close to banning him. How much memory does it take? Let's see. So 51 megs? Or no. Or is this K? That's probably in K. I don't know. Anyway, that's you can. No, that has to be in bytes. Anyway, what do you think is the reason for the lag? Which lag? There's quite a bit of lag in different. There's different sources for the lag. Do you mean like the printing, or like the printing screen stuff, or the like block generation? Just curious about humans and everything. And Robert, why do you want to ban me? I was curious to ask questions. There is nothing wrong with it. I've told you before, you haven't been spamming chat lately, so that's why I'm like, I can let you stick around. But you consistently ask questions that have nothing to do with the topic of discussion or the live stream in general. All right, let's make some mining picks. But yeah, the lag. So there's actually there's a profiling tool that you can use. What's it called? I think it's called Visual VM or something. But anyway, you can just turn the profiler on, and I use that, and it's pretty good to figure out what like the percent breakdown of like I can just I turn the profiling on, and then I'll do whatever operation causes all the lag, and then I can pause it and then get a breakdown of the distribution. And I find it's often it's kind of hard to predict what will be the source, because there's sometimes when I think, oh, it must be this, I got to write this better algorithm or something, but then when I look at the profiling, I'll realize it's like there's something is being added to a hash map a lot, and then like the hash map inserts are like 80% of the overall use. So like using a different implementation for the map or something will dramatically reduce the lag. And there's early on there's a few big wins, but then now it's kind of getting closer to a point where it's 10% here, a few percent there. I mean, both sound like, because of Java, game code itself. I'd say so. Like people, some people have said like they blame Java for being slow, but I think for the most part, the language doesn't necessarily matter that much. I think because of the language, like if you're writing something in C, you have to manage your own memory. So that makes C, that's one of the reasons that like I'm not writing this in C or C++, is because I don't want to be like doing string memory management and the security implications and stuff. It's better to do it in Java. But the thing is, with Java, because it's doing all that stuff under the hood, like it does all the memory allocations and deallocations automatically, you have to be aware that they are happening. And if you write code that is not mindful of the actual implementation, then you can very easily write extremely inefficient code. And even though your code is like 2 lines, you'll think like, why is it extremely slow? So like I was saying about there's like doing using like sorted sets or like using hash sets or tree sets, and like I forget what the implementation detail was with those, but there's the nuances of those are actually important in knowing like the whether you need fast insertions or fast lookups. That actually ends up mattering. Which JDK are you using? I think this is Java 17. I got a lot of working LLM scripts today in Python. Neat. I haven't done any LLM stuff. It's been on my to-do list. It's too much stuff going on in the world today. Okay, I will not be asking any more questions. I will no longer be your subscriber because you're so straight. Like I'm free to ask questions and I'm not spamming. Okay, I guess. I don't have any strong opinion either way. GNU Coreutils. Is a game size constant, or it detects terminal size? It's supposed to detect terminal size. I'll probably, if I make it more advanced, I'll make it so you can. I think it like if it can't figure it out, it defaults to 80 characters wide. And I guess I can. I don't think I have it right now, but eventually it makes sense to make it so you can specify that if you want a desired width. But of course, if the width is wrong, then the lines will start to wrap, and then it basically like totally breaks the user interface. You are an apostle of Unix. I forget what's the definition of an apostle. That's like a biblical term, if I remember correctly. Can you do a Vim tutorial? I could. There's so many things that I could make content about. I'm kind of just finishing up some of my prior commitments. I'm going to focus on Gonna try to get a new release of the game out because there's the lag issues make it kind of annoying. Like it's barely playable right now. Like right now I'm pressing, if I just hold M, you can see my wood is going up, and that's a pretty serious bug. And of course I'd pressed that M a million times, 400 times, and it still hasn't mined that block. So gonna try to fix those. Make some Unix card games. I was actually working on thinking of. I actually got pretty far, and I did design some like cards around like Unix commands and stuff, and I was thinking about selling them, but it just turned out to be so much. It was really difficult to find. It was actually surprising. It was difficult to find the card stock, and to get it printed on the right card stock, you have to basically outsource it, and you have to order like a minimum quantity of like, I don't know, 40,000 units or something. So it's like a min $10,000-$20,000 operation to do these, and they don't. And they basically want you to have like finalized designs, so they don't want to go back and forth with you. And if you all the reviews and stuff that I find of these places, they're like, oh, we did a batch and the batch had problems with it, and they wouldn't reprint them. And so I did buy. I have a pretty expensive. It's like a $1,500 art printer, but even that is still not really good enough for what I was looking for. And so, going down that rabbit hole, I realized it's at this time I don't think it makes sense. I probably don't. There's probably not enough demand for to justify it either. Why don't you make launch animation once the game is opened, and then you get redirected to the actual game, like some ASCII art animations. I could do that, but it's one thing on the long to-do list of things to do. Lack of sales is due to lack of marketing, not lack of value. Yes, but also there's like the maximum market size is not, like if I get 100% of the market, that is still not, the question is, how many millions of dollars can I make if I literally sell to every possible customer? I think it's a nice niche product. I mean, it's kind of like my, I got my store here. Like if people want to buy products, they can buy these products here, but I've only made like, $300 in sales so far. If I buy the game, do I receive a jar of the game code? So actually if you look at the GitHub, there actually are jar files available, so you can already access jar files. I think the last version is there's actually quite a few bug fixes. This is like a temporary build that I have right now. I think the last version is not even that, doesn't work that great. But yeah, there are jars available, and I'll be so they're available publicly. And I think in my license there's like a 30-day trial period. Would you ever consider doing one-on-one mentoring services for people who want to learn Linux fast? Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that. I guess technically I did. I used to be I was a part-time professor for a while at a local college, so I do have experience doing that. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not, because I just think the mathematics of like, if I make a video, if I put like hours and hours into a video and then put it on YouTube, it gets seen by thousands of people, and I think in the long term, that's going to be where the value is at. But I guess, the social aspect of teaching is, there's something to be said about that. I guess that's why everyone is developing communities and stuff like that now. You can add some music too. Yeah, actually, I did have. If you checked out if you Google for like compose music from DevView random, I have a blog post where I do exactly that. It's just like do like XXD or hex dump from DevView random and then pipe it into some other tools to basically make random music. It doesn't sound very good though. Could the lag be due to the terminal itself? Some of it is. The most convincing thing would be to show the actual profile report. Some of the the issue with the dupe, like when I just hold down the M key and it like mines 1 million blocks, yeah, like that. That is due to just how the first of all, it's not doing like it needs to do it in like transactions. So it's when I go to do the next write, it doesn't check to make sure that the last write succeeded. And there's also it's using SQLite, so you're using a SQLite database, so the actual writes have to be sent to the database and then be committed, and that's due to I/O latency. And then there's also issues with the if I go to a new area of the game like that, what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to start rendering the stuff right by the cursor like that. But then if I come up here, it's still rendering stuff way down there, and it takes time to come up, and that bit of lag, I can resolve that. And there's also a deadlock situation where if you open up the game, actually if you open up without logging enabled, it'll lock up, because I think there's a deadlock condition where what it's doing is it's going and requesting the next block, and then when it gets it back, it does the next request. But there's some issue there where one of the writes comes back at the wrong time, and then it just breaks the chain, so it stops loading the rest of the game area. I would buy a Unix class that you make. I think I like the fact that the shorts exist. It's a nice feeling to know, I put so much time into those, and you can watch. So every one of those shorts videos is at least a day. So it's 1 to 3 days that I put into those, and then it can just be out there and people watch it for forever, and it's every day it's teaching people just a little bit of something. I could see you being a teacher. Maybe consider making a sign-up list for a class, 5 or 10 or something, for those who really want 101. I ran a local meetup group where I thought maybe I can do these little training groups or something. And I did that for a bit, and people came and gave me $20 or something for an hour. But it's just the scalability of it, video content. People are craving more face-to-face interaction, especially since the pandemic, but it's just the economy of scale, and even if you only have one piece of content that actually does get a lot of views, it kind of makes up for it, for all the other duds, like my how to make a CPU video. If you look at the number of hours, the total number of hours on that video of the watch time, it's it's like way more than you'd ever. I guess at this point it's not quite. It doesn't exceed what you'd be able to teach in your lifetime, but the fact that you can give like a high quality explanation to so many people, to millions of people, I just keep coming back to that idea and thinking that's probably the best place to put my time. But you could reverse engineer jar files, get the code. Are you using obfuscation? No, actually, you can also, the code comes with it too. The code is all, it's not there's no open source license. It's like it's my own proprietary license. You just chill and do you, dude. All right, I will. Just wanted to say I love the shorts. Excellent. Yeah, I guess there's, how many am I up to now? There's like 110 of them or something. I don't know why, but the most recent ones haven't been getting so many views. But I think they're a bit better. They're like more they're more general audience. But I don't know. YouTube algorithm is changing, or maybe people are getting back to work. People don't have time to be screwing around on YouTube. All right, let's craft some iron pickaxes. Robert, are you secretly an AI generated person? Do you even exist? I would say that I exist. I mean, with the internet these days, you can't really know. That's what an AI generated person would say. But the thing is, an AI could say anything. Like, what's an example of a thing that an AI couldn't say? There's nothing. Have you been tracking the Rust GPU library named Burn? Is that? Yeah, Buren. I have not. I have not aware of it at all. I never got into Rust at all. Is the terminal title the title of the executable or folder? Oh, that's the current name of the current folder. That's the name of the computer, and that's the directory I'm in. You could set the terminal title to the name of the game. Yeah, I guess there is. That's, I think, an ANSI escape sequence. It's an ANSI escape sequence for that, if I remember correctly. How could you implement a zoom in, zoom out feature? I'm curious what the algorithm will be. Zoom in, zoom out. I mean, you can like do, you can change the character size in the terminal, like Control-Shift+. But of course, when you do that, the size changes. But I guess if you're listening to that resize event, you should be able to repaint it. It would just narrow the window size. But other than that, you could do like some kind of scaling or something. The way I have the game implemented, like everything is a kind of just discrete block. Everything exists at a like a discrete address. I think it's lagging really bad. I can hear my hard drive ticking. I think it's generating blocks in the background. There we go. Yeah, I think I went closer to like a new Y level, and then so it started generating blocks in a new layer, and so that's making it lag really bad. I need to make it well, I do have it already set so you can do higher priority writes, and that's what it's supposed to do to make it more responsive. But I don't know, something's wrong with my priority system, so it's not doing the writes at the right time. And scaling, do you have any idea what scaling algorithms look like or how they work? I mean, it depends what you want to do. Like you can I mean, if you want to like zoom things out a bit, you just have to have some algorithm that says like, if you have a group of 4 blocks of different type, what's the algorithm to like represent those 4 together? And if you have a limited set of symbols, like these are all emoji characters. These are all just characters you print in the terminal. There's no graphics here. So you'd have to choose from one of those. And I guess if you, yeah, you have to just come up with some averaging function. Is the map randomly generated? Do you have a bunch of maps in text files? It's using a noise generation function. So I made a, actually that's probably one thing I will have to change. I made a very high quality noise generating function. So Minecraft uses Perlin noise, and I think it has a few other techniques it uses, but Perlin noise is good because it's fast to generate, but doesn't generate the highest quality noise. And I decided I'll make actually made a higher dimensional, very general noise generation function that's that uses SHA-512, but I found that it's actually it's a lot slower in practice than I thought it would be. So I may actually switch to Perlin noise, which will it'll make some of the terrain like around on the diagonal. It'll mean that some of the terrain repeats itself. And if you look at if you look up like YouTube videos on Minecraft terrain generation bugs, those are some of the issues that you get with Perlin noise. But if it's more performant, and I don't know, if it also it's kind of creates interesting structures in the game. I mean, I haven't really the actual terrain generation in this is like, I don't know, 10 lines of code. Like I said, everything is it's like the simplest thing I could do to get it done as fast as possible and say like this is a game, and not be telling a lie. Robert Elder. Looks like a dragon. Extend the negative space, or the one in Kali Linux. Yeah, eventually, it'd be interesting to add some entities to the game or something, but for now I'm gonna just work on like making the basic core functionality, like not have incredible lag, not have duping, add some of the basics for multiplayer interactions. What are you drinking? Historically, I drank some energy drinks, but this is just like a simple soda, Pepsi. This guy is a hacker man. Yep. Anybody with a terminal is a hacker man. Hi, Dad. I'm not your dad. I mean, oh, Jay hit a hacker man for using Kali and Ghidra. That's that NSA tool, isn't it? It's for reverse engineering stuff. Yeah, I've never tried that out. I can't go up. That's an issue. I tried some Java FX. It's so complicated. What's Java FX? How do I pronounce that? Gehidra? Gehidra? Am I close? I used Gehidra for a challenge in the Sans Holiday Hack a few years ago. I tried using Atlanta FX to have slightly better looking controls than Swing. With the default ones, it's pronounced Guidra? I'll have to look it up later. Java FX is the cross-platform UI framework for Java on desktop. The replacement for Swing, but Swing is still around. Yeah, I remember using, I had a bunch of school assignments where I had to use Java Swing. Haven't looked into Java FX, haven't heard about it before. I think any kind of I guess for the most part, everything is. I haven't really had much need in my career to make interfaces on desktop. Every time I try to I think about making something desktop, I realize, wait a minute, this would be better as like a web application, because then I can make I can make it remotely accessible, and I can have JavaScript controls and reuse existing stuff, and then I end up not using desktop. But I guess for like certain stuff you can't do that. Word processors or desktop controls themselves. It's actually made in Java as well. Turns out NSA trusts Java. Yeah, that's I actually think like probably behind the scenes in a lot of government stuff, Java's used. I think the US government has like picked Java as the language of choice, and so that's why there's a lot of stuff where like if you need a Java library that supports if you need to support some like a weird hash function or some kind of authentication protocol or something like that, I find that Java is the language that seems to like there will be something in Java that does it, and it does it correctly, and it obeys the standard. And in languages like Python, like enterprisey stuff is like will just be broken, and then if you ask about it online, people will be like, oh, why would you ever need to do that? Just don't do it. And that's kind of the difference between people building stuff in Python versus Java. There's a lot of I think like SIM cards and stuff like that too. the like embedded programming is done in like a version of Java. It's like some really minimalist thing. TUI better than GUI. Yeah, I can agree with that. For some reason, I couldn't participate in this chat on Brave browser. Interesting. I'm on Firefox right now with ABP. It's not a problem. Hey, why don't you become a channel member? Even $1 helps our boy Robert. Oh, thank you for the pitching, doing my sales pitch for me. Yeah, I don't do many of those. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Please like and subscribe. I'll have to start putting those in my shorts. And I'll put some rap music in there too. And I'll make the volume of it way higher than the volume of the video. Is there a certain library used to format the output on the terminal in Java? Nope. It's all just calculations, and the most difficult thing is figuring out the width of characters, and then once you know that, it's not too bad. 2-minute long intro with dubstep rendered in Microsoft Movie Maker. Yeah, that's more like it. Or the 009 sound system. What is that song? The famous the YouTube national anthem song. Would love to subscribe, but sadly in a country that doesn't support international payments. Yeah, that's all right. If and especially if anyone's poor, don't worry about it. But if you're a rich Silicon Valley person, if you're making like $6,000 a month, come on, $1 a month. I am surprised at how much like I do get like some random, $1 or $2 donations from like just random countries that I wouldn't think there's that many people there watching the videos, but I guess there is. The lag is getting really bad. This computer is also kind of old, so it's not too surprising that it lags pretty bad. But I guess that's good for testing. If I can make it work really efficiently on an older computer, then it'll be pleasant on every other computer. What setup are you using? PC specs and system. Right now I'm on there's just an old spare laptop that I use that I've set up for doing the streams, and then on the main computer over there I've got a ThinkPad, and I kind of regret buying it because the fan is just constantly spinning up all the time. It's just, kind of a basic ThinkPad. I don't really have impressive specs for anything. Yeah, I don't use much VM. I try to never dual boot because I've had bad experiences with dual booting, or with specifically with dual booting between Windows and Linux, because I find Windows has a habit of trying to repair it sees the Linux or the kind of the shim in the boot process and thinks that's like a virus or something. There's always opportunities for advocacy. Yeah, if anyone wants to give $1 or $2 or give a membership, I'm always happy for it. But if you just want to hang out and watch videos and never contribute anything, that's fine. That's I guess the default thing. And I'm sure, I watch so much YouTube content that it's man, if I donated $1 to every channel that I watch, that would be pretty expensive. How much memory is it using? I checked earlier. It was I think it was like 50 megs or something. Writing Java would make me sick to my stomach. Yeah, a lot of people don't like Java. I'm not really sure. Not really sure why. I like, it's tedious, but you actually get something for all that code you're writing. I ended up drilling 2 holes in my desk for ventilation for the laptop. Yeah, I actually found if you buy, let me just get one to show you. I have the speakers on my laptop covered in let me go right there, you can kind of see it. I have the laptop covered in these things. I actually bought like a huge pack of them for some other projects on eBay, and so I got like a 50 pack of these, and I have them all under the laptop, and then I have a row of them actually where the speaker is, and I think it's like a 10-degree difference that it makes in cooling down the laptop. There are only 2 kinds of languages. Ones people complain about and the ones nobody uses. Strangely, I've never had a problem with dual booting between Windows and Linux. Doing it since before UEFI became standard. Yeah, it's I don't know. There's a couple. Was one very distinct time. It was I basically it bricked my machine, or didn't brick it, but I lost all my files, and I had to like make a copy of the entire disk image and then use some recovery tools to go in. And I had heard of someone. I talked to someone else who had the same issue with dual booting Windows and Linux, and after that, I was like, no, never again am I going to do this. What IDE do you use for coding in Java? I use Vim, and it's actually not, it's not great in a number of ways, and I've been looking for like a better kind of alternative, something with like ideally I want to continue using Vim and have some kind of like a language server integration, just to make the whole process a bit faster. But I haven't found one. It seems like there's a whole bunch of like Vim plugins people have written for Java programming in Vim, but they're all like abandoned on GitHub and stuff. But it's, I guess the actual raw volume of lines of code I've been writing lately has not been that large. I've just been busy with so many other things. But yeah, it's on the to-do list to improve my IDE setup. I prefer IntelliJ. Those are the smartest IDEs I've tried. There's some kind of traffic thing going where only if I am on the same YouTube page with Firefox, the chat menu will show up on Brave. Yep, that's lagging pretty good. The time here is 11:20. Four a.m. That's pretty late. That's past your bedtime. Yeah, that is pretty bad lag. It's like makes it unplayable basically. Playing CTF for the night. So CTF, that's capture the flag. I've never actually done that before. From what I understand, it's a bunch of programming challenges where you try to like hack into stuff, and then I guess you plant a flag file. I did a few like hacking assignments in I had a computer security course, and it was probably my favorite. One of my favorite assignments was from that course. It was where we had to like it was called two-time pad. We were given like a short piece of text from like a random Wikipedia article, and what was it? Yeah, the whole idea with like a one-time pad is perfect security, but a two-time pad is like completely insecure. And so we were given like 2 recordings of the one-time pad used twice, and then from that you can do the exclusive or what was it? You do the exclusive OR, and then you can recover the one-time pad, and then from that we had to like figure out. We could figure out like a little bit of what the text was, and then we had to like just Google a bunch to try and once we could get a little bit of it, we could start to guess the other words and then decrypt the whole message. It was a very satisfying assignment to do. Try to find the flag string. I see. So it's like you're given a specific string, like some random sequence of text or something, like hello world 123, and you have to find that. I've actually made random challenge where you have to predict random numbers in Java. Turns out you can do so just given two numbers. You have to predict a random number in Java, and I guess you're saying you can do that with given two numbers. You can just given two numbers. I'm not quite sure I follow that. Flag string is hidden. You get it by completing the challenge. Then you submit it to the scoring web interface. Oh, okay. So I guess sometimes you can like recover it and you think you've got the flag string, but you actually don't. Random class in Java uses a well-known algorithm that's easy to crack. Yeah, actually, yeah, I don't know if it was you. Someone asked earlier about like the random number, the random terrain generation. I mentioned I was using a high-quality noise generator, and I was kind of influenced to do that. I was using like, at first I was like, I'll just use some basic random numbers in Java, and I couldn't figure out why my terrain was so like flat and terrible. And then I actually started like looking at the distribution of the numbers, and I was like, wow, this is now I really understand the importance of like high quality random numbers, because the random numbers I was getting from Java were like just very like extremely biased. That's why there's secure random. Yeah, maybe I should look into using that instead. I don't know. I guess I could try out different noise functions. Maybe we can make it like an option in the game. You can change the noise function and kind of experiment, find out which one's the best. Well, it's currently almost 11:30 here. I've established that there's still lots of lag in the game, and hopefully this week I'll get some time to work on this a little bit. So maybe by next week I'll have a better demo available for this, and actually something new to show. I can't just keep playing the same boring, laggy game over and over again. Any Arch users here? Had to downgrade WL roots package for the first time today. I tried Arch back in the day, but I find it was just too unstable. Like updating it and having your hard drive break and stuff is kind of annoying. don't trip over a cable and end up taking the internet. Now, I'll try. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. See you guys next week.